So the first component is going to be the warm-up. So we're going to start off in a quadruped position, okay? We're going to take our left leg, we're going to step it right outside of our left hand. And then we're just going to bring it right back. And then we're going to alternate. Right leg outside of the right hand. If you want to get a little bit more advanced, you'll hold the push-up position and just step right outside, okay? Make sure that the foot is flat. Make sure that the back leg is straight. If it's going to be a little bit less of a progression, the knee is going to be down. Feel a nice hip stretch here. You're going to feel the glute, feel a little hamstring in there, okay? So these are called Spider-Man lunges. The next exercise is going to be a child's pose T-spine or thoracic spine rotation. You're going to drop your butt to your heels. You're going to drop your right forearm down. You're going to take your left arm and you're going to reach it all the way underneath. And then you're going to rotate. Exhale as you rotate. Inhale. Exhale. My palm is facing away from my body. Inhale. Exhale. If you can't get your butt to your heels, that's okay. You can be up a little bit higher, or you can be on your hand, and you can rotate like this. And then you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. The next exercise we're going to do is called a bird dog drill. So hands are right underneath the shoulders, hips are right above the knees. So everything is kind of stacked. I'm going to extend out my left arm and my right leg, okay? I want to make sure that my toe is digging down. I'm curling up my toe. I don't want to raise up that leg too much. I'm pushing my heel to the wall, and then I'm coming down, and I'm alternating. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you'll narrow your stance. So you'll bring the knees in a little bit closer, hands in a little bit closer, and it makes the balancing a little bit more difficult. If you want to make it even a little bit more challenging, what you do is you bring out left arm, right leg, and then you tap. Come right back out. Tap. Right back out. This is going to be a bridge. So we're going to start off with a double leg bridge. So you want to take something like a towel or a pillow. You want to squeeze it in between your thighs. Okay? The reason for this, engage the core, engage the muscles in the groin, the adductors, engage a little bit more glutes, and you're just going to bridge right up, squeezing your core, squeeze your glutes. Imagine that you're trying to squeeze something in between your butt cheeks and drive right up. You don't want to go too high because then you'll put pressure on your lower back. Push through your heels. Do not lift up your toes. Do not lift up your heels. Push through those heels. Drive through those heels. Really use the back of your legs. If that's a little bit too easy, you can do a single leg bridge. And then you would switch and do the other side. This is called a goblet squat. So we're going to go over the setup first. I want to make sure that my feet are about shoulder width apart. Slight turnout in my toes. Very slight. Okay? I'm going to grab the weight. I'm going to hold it like a goblet, just like this. You can also hold it like this if you'd like. So I'm going to hold it close to my body, not touching, but about 1 inch off. When I drop down, I'm going to make sure that my thighs are parallel with the ground, which means I'm going to about 90 degrees. I'm going to drive through my heels, but I'm going to make sure that I keep contact with my whole foot. So I'm not lifting up my toe, I'm not lifting up my heel. I also want to make sure that my knees or my feet don't go in. So I'm doing something called dialing my feet in. So you can kind of see how I'm kind of pushing my toes out. I'm not pushing my knees out, and I'm not lifting my feet off the ground. So I'm going to come down, I'm inhaling, drive through those heels, exhale. I tuck my hips at the top a little bit. Come right back down. The next exercise is going to be a bent over row. So I'm going to start off with a 3-point stance row where my legs are going to be even. I'm going to put my hand right on the chair here. I'm going to reach my shoulder forward a little bit, pinch it back, pull the dumbbell towards my hips. So everything combined should look like this. If you just hold it right here, you're not going to get the maximum activation in the back. If you do feel this in your lower back, you can do a split stance. So I'm reaching, exhale as I pull in. My neck, my spine are all nice and straight and neutral. You don't want to have a rounded back. You don't want to have the head cranked up. I'm just pulling right here. Inhale, exhale. This is going to be a plank, so I want to make sure that the elbows and shoulders are right above one another. I want to make sure that my back is not arching. So I want to tuck my hips. You notice how I kind of tuck my hips underneath my body. My upper back arches a little bit, which is okay. I'm going to squeeze my quads and I'm going to drive my elbows towards my hips a little bit to really engage my whole body. The plank is not just a core exercise, it's a full body exercise. So keeping everything really tight, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Upper back can round a little bit. If you need to, you can drop the knees down and you can do holding that for about 5 seconds and come right back up. The goal would be to hold it for about no more than 30 seconds, and you can progress each time. Next is a single leg deadlift. So I'm going to be balancing on my left leg, which means my right leg is going to go back and my right hand is going to be free and kind of come forward. Okay? So balancing on the left leg, I am hinging, bending in my hips. My left leg is going to bend slightly. My hand is going to kind of just relax right here, and I'm reaching my right leg back, coming right back up to balance. If this is something difficult for you, you can actually tap your foot. If that is still too difficult for you, you have a chair here, or you can put your hand on a wall, and then you can use that as support. Okay? So you want the leg that's closest to the wall or the chair, the leg that is going back. If that is easy for you, what you can do is you can grab a dumbbell. And you can do it balancing with a dumbbell. Bring it right back. Inhale, exhale. Keeping the body nice and straight, reaching that leg back, slightly bending the front leg. These are different variations for the push-up. So, standard push-up, hands are right underneath the shoulders. I want the hands actually across the chest. I'm going to drop my body down as one unit, keeping everything really tight, making sure not to arch my back. My elbows are flared out about 45 degrees. I try to let my chest tap the ground. It's okay if you don't, just as long as you get at least to 90 degrees. You want to avoid keeping the hands out here and doing a push-up. So for a modified, you want to make sure that you're dropping the whole body down, come right up. Don't leave the hips behind, okay? Because then you're just going to be working your upper body and not your core. So again, right up here, body is one unit. If you're doing modified, still want to drop the hips down as well. I'm going to be doing a side plank, so we're going to start off with the hardest progression first. So my feet are going to be stacked above one another. I'm going to lift right up as high as I can. To make it even more challenging, I can do a hip lift where I'm dropping up and down. If I want to make this a little bit easier, I will bend the bottom leg, extend out the top leg, keep it extended, and then again I'm going to lift. So I'm pushing off that right knee and just holding, or again, make it a little bit more challenging hip lift. If I want to make this next one a little easier, so this is another regression. Both knees are bent, I'm pushing off both knees, lifting up. If I want to make it a little bit more challenging, again, I can do that hip lift as well. Making sure that my elbow and my shoulder are stacked one above the other, and I'm exhaling as I go up, and you would repeat the same thing on the other side. I hope you enjoyed that workout. Just remember, when it comes to the rep ranges, everybody's going to be a little different. So you want to think about what we call RPE, which is rate of perceived exertion, which means how difficult is it? If the whole workout is a 10 the whole time, you probably went a little too hard. If it was like a 2 or a 3, you probably went a little too light. You probably want to be around, especially if you're a beginner, around the 6 or 7 mark. If you're a little bit more advanced, 7 or 8. If you're really advanced, probably around that 9. So again, see how many reps it takes before you start to get really fatigued, and that's kind of where you should go. But I'm going to give you some guidelines as far as rep ranges and how long you should be holding things for, and hopefully it works out for you. Enjoy the workout.